Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make Grandma Dell's famous cheesecake, and this is a perfect start to my kitchen blog because this is the most amazing recipe. I dubbed it the best cheesecake you've ever tasted. So we're going to do Grandma Dell's cheesecake, and the first part is a very simple, like a shortbread crust. It's flour, sugar, a little bit of egg, a little bit of lemon peel, and some butter. I'm using the little lemon peeler, and I try to do short lengths of the peel. This is a great little tool, and because you can get only the peel and not the white pith underneath. So I just do most of the lemon for the crust. Part of the pastry is we're going to take the butter and cut it into the flour and sugar mixture with the lemon. So what I did is I just cut the butter into slices, thin slices, and I go ahead and put it in there and use a pastry blender to blend it up. And what happens is you get little crumbly bits of the butter mixed in with the sugar and the flour. Okay, so we're just finishing putting the crust on the bottom of the springform pan, and I've got a springform pan that has a glass bottom. I kind of like that. So you just kind of pat it on into a thin layer, and we're going to put it in the oven for, it's a pretty hot oven, 400 degrees for just about 6 minutes. So this recipe takes 5 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, and that's a lot of cream cheese. And what I normally do using my food processor, I start with 2 in the barrel, and it's really, really important to get the cream cheese really blended up smooth before you start putting everything else in, because if you put everything else in, you won't get a smooth product. You won't get a smooth cheesecake. Now it takes a while to get the cheesecake, to get the cream cheese all blended. And you also want to not over blend it, because if you mix it too much, then you end up with too much air in your cheesecake, and you get those big cracks along the top when it cools after coming out of the oven. So you just want to mix it as much as you need to get it smooth. Okay. All right, so I went ahead and put in the lemon peel, about the peel of another lemon, and some vanilla, so that's going in. We're going to put in the sugar and the flour and a little bit of salt, and that's going to end up being, once we put the sugar in, it's even a smoother mixture. It calls for 2 egg yolks and a cup of eggs. So what I normally do is just put the egg yolks in the cream cheese mixture, and then just save the whites and that's the start of my cup of eggs. And then I fill it up with whole eggs to make a full cup. Okay, so it takes about 3 more eggs to make a full cup. And then I can do about an egg or 2 each time, and mix that in till it's all nicely blended. And the last thing that goes in is just a 1/4 cup of cream, and you want to make sure you don't overmix when you put the cream in, so that's just a little mixing at the end. And make sure we scrape it off one more time. When the crust comes out of the oven, it's ready to come out when it's starting to get a little bit golden brown. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a golden brown edge. And then we let it cool off. We'll go ahead and put it into our springform pan, put that together. Okay, and then we take the rest of the crust mix. That was probably about 1/4 of the total amount of crust mix that we have. And we're going to take the crust mix and pat it up the sides now of the springform pan. and try to get it as uniform as possible so we don't have a really thick amount of crust in the corner, and connect it to the crust that's already in the bottom of the pan. The crust's pretty even around the edges of the sides of the springform pan. It's okay if it's not perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and put the cream cheese mixture in. It's okay if you have a lump here or there. Nobody will notice. It'll bake right in. We're checking to see if it's done. It's been in for an hour at 225. It's still pretty wiggly in the center. So we're going to go ahead and let it stay in for another probably 10 minutes. Okay, so we need to jiggle it a little too. Okay, that's about right. What we want is about 3-inch diameter in the center jiggling. And that way, once we take it out of the oven, it will get a little bit more solid. It'll be in the fridge for a while, and there'll be a nice soft part in the center, which is one of my favorite parts of the cheesecake. So it's ready to come out. We're going to do a berry topping on this one. You can do any kind of fruit. I do strawberries or blueberries. Today we're going to do strawberries because that's what's in season right now. We take it out of the pan. And it's still on the glass bottom, and that, if we leave the glass bottom on the serving tray, then it just slides around. So normally what I do is just take a bread knife and slide it under the cake, and then I should be able to just slide the cake right off of the bottom onto the serving tray. So there we go. Ready to finish up the cheesecake, and I'm going to decorate it with strawberries and strawberry sauce. So I'm just going to put some sliced strawberries on the top, and then we're going to put on the strawberry sauce. Okay, just a few sliced ones, and then we'll go ahead and pour on our strawberry sauce. And I like it to certainly fill up the top, and then maybe drip a little down the sides. Thanks for visiting Kirsten's Kitchen.